Hello and welcome to another 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
This is your podcast for everything not top six. Tell your team being last on match of the day and not getting the flowers they deserve. That's about change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this week?
It's part one of our team of the season. Who's stopping the shots and who's making the crunching tackles? It's our goalkeeper and defenders episode. First off, old men yell at clouds. I have a feeling we're going to say the same thing. What are you angry about this week?
Oh no, we're definitely not saying the same thing. It may be getting similar to us. I'm angry at Pisa Airport. If anyone's ever been to Pisa
I've
Airport...
been to Pisa Airport.
Yes.
It's tiny.
If anything could ever sum up the Italian experience more, it's walking through that departures lounge to them where I then going through passport control. Yeah, we had a long time there, but my God, you walk through, it's just loud, everything's late, everyone's aggressive. And I was just like, yeah, this is Italy all over. If anyone's been to Pisa as well, Pisa's a shithole, but Tuscany is an amazing place. So I was over in Tuscany for a wedding last weekend, so yeah, that's what I was doing there. But yeah, fuck that airport. Fuck that airport to hell. How about you?
Yeah, I flew out of Pisa once and there was delays, so I know your feeling, and delays in a horde of school children on a trip. So yeah, not my favorite airport either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the low hanging fruit here. Hydration / advertisement breaks in the World Cup. We have somehow ended up with 4 quarters of football.
It's crazy, isn't it? Especially because loads of people have been doing what research on it, being like, what was it? Not phases of play. What was it? The graphs,
Momentum swinging.
graphs.
Yeah.
People are doing research and saying in most games it's changing on that as well. I mean, the stupid thing is most of the US stadiums have air conditioning and a roof to close, don't they? So they don't even need hydration. It's literally just there for the advertising, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
And then they're saying, oh, we can't not have it for these ones because it'll be like the competition won't be aligned. And it's just like they've just got around saying the obvious part that this is for advertising. Like, it's so obvious and they're just avoiding saying it. And it's just like, it's so American as well that this, like, I think FIFA would probably be open to this anyway because it's another way, like, cash grab sort of thing. But it's just so Americanized, of like, as someone who watches the NFL and how many ad breaks and commercials they show in that, it's just like, it's no surprise that the first American World Cup for 30 years has been broken up into 4 phases of play where they can have a 3-minute advertisement break, and there's been instances where the players are ready to return and they're still playing the music out so that the referee knows that the ad break is still going on. There was one time where they returned to the field of they returned to the broadcast experience of the actual match several seconds after play had restarted. And I know we're not getting the ads over here in the UK, but still, it's like, it just as it gets going, and you know, football is such a game of ebbs and flows. Like, you need like 45 minutes of uninterrupted. You're going to get passages where the play stops and stuff, but it's that interesting swings and momentum, like, changes over the course of 45 minutes that make football what it is. So yeah, very much old men yell at clouds at this, but I think we're on the majority of football fans.
Yeah, I think I've been swayed more by the World Cup as I've been able to watch more games now, but there's a clear difference between games in Mexico and games in the US. Like, the games in Mexico, it's like, oh, there seems like an atmosphere in the crowd here. It seems like all be popping off. I think all the games in the US seem very sterile, and I haven't actually watched any games in Canada yet, if I'm being honest, because I don't think any of those games have interested me. But it's weird when you, like, see behind the goal as people sat in, like, was it executive boxes or like little tables having food rather than actual fans going at it. But yeah, I'm more inclined to be enjoying the tournament than I expected. But I mean, a lot of that's down to getting really pissed up on a Wednesday night watching England. That was pretty damn good. And
I mean, I thought the football would be good as much as I opposed the tournament on a socio-political level. I was excited for the football, and I think it's lived up and at points exceeded what I was expecting. Like, I think there's been obviously some great stories like Cabo Verde and like DR Congo, and like getting results that people didn't expect, sort of thing. So I'm quite surprisingly enjoying the expanded format as well. Obviously half the games are when we're asleep, but I've actually been able to catch up with the highlights without too many spoilers first thing, so that's been all right as well. But yeah, no, I think World Cup's been all right, except for these
Yeah.
hydration breaks.
What's been your game of the tournament so far? I think France Senegal was quite up there for me, and Norway Iraq was there for me as well.
Yeah, the second half of Netherlands Japan was like one of my
Yeah,
favorite 45 minutes, like the way it like went back and forth, and like Japan getting that sort of late equalizer. I think that was like 45 minutes of a real level playing field, like two teams that really, really matched up well against each other, and like tactically was really interesting. And yeah.
the Daichi Wonder goal at the end.
Yeah,
He,
that was a goal of the tournament.
he knew what he was doing. I'm telling you, he knew what he was doing. Oh,
Not
cool.
sure about
Okay.
that.
Should we take a break then get into the first half of our team of the season then?
Let's do it.
Cool. Okay, we're back. So I guess there's only one place to start with the goalkeeper. I'm pretty dead set on my keeper for the season, so I'll
Just
let
before
you.
we just before we have a goalkeeper, are we aligned on formation?
Oh shit!
I've kind of gone 4-3-3 slash 4-2-3-1.
4-3-3, fine with me. Yeah, that's probably yeah.
Okay, good. Because as a man who's been watching Palace for the last 2.5 years play five at the back, I was worried you were going to come in here with a back five.
Oh, do you know what? What I found hardest was finding defenders. I think attacker and midfield kind of slotted itself for me. So defenders I found quite difficult. So we
But you
could
don't want
do
to them.
so we could do three at the back.
No, we're not doing three at the back. We're doing a back four.
Okay. I feel like someone's going to sneak in that does not deserve to be in.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's
But then
hard.
it is hard. The only other rule, as with our awards, is they must be with an under 14 side by the end of the season. So with this one, they can have joined in January, but I don't think we'll have too many of those. But they should have been with the other 14's side when the season finished.
Yeah,
So let's go with goalkeeper because I know you've got one because you kind
yeah.
of alluded to it in the awards show last week. I've got four nominations that I would at least like have in the conversation. I think I agree with you on who your number one is, but I'll go through the other. I'll bring up the other three first. I know I bang on about his T-Rex arms, but I do think Jordan Pickford's 11 clean sheets for Everton, and he recorded his 100th clean sheet for Everton like during the season. Like I think he was a big part of where they were at a certain point, getting talked about possibly getting into Europe. And I know I ragged on the defence at the end of the season, so I'm not saying he should be, but 11 clean sheets is joint third in the league, so he does deserve to be in the conversation, I think, and he made some great saves as well.
I'm just shocked. I didn't see you picking Pickford at
Yeah, I
all.
mean, he's got T-Rex arms, and I hate the way that he lambasts his defenders for making him do his job every now and then.
I mean, he made some massive saves. I think yeah, helped with some saves of the season. In all honesty, there's one at Newcastle, wasn't there?
Hmm.
Was it Newcastle or was it at home? I can't remember
Yeah,
which way
the
around it was.
Newcastle. I can't remember where it was, but it was against Newcastle.
Against
Yeah,
Newcastle. That one that really stood out. And he's just been solid all season. I think he probably, as cliche with goalkeepers, isn't it? Like you want your goalkeeper to save you points throughout the season, and I think throughout the season he saved Everton a good 5 to 6, 10 points even throughout the season with big saves.
yeah,
And you love that. I mean, I love that shithousery that he has as a goalkeeper. That's what you want to see. You want to see a bit of the madman. You see that with Dean Henderson now, and it's there like, okay, I love this. He gets it. I think Jordan Pickford gets it at Everton as well. Like, not he like makes himself the main man of it all, but he knows the fans up there want to see someone that gives a shit, someone that's putting in all in for the team, and I think he does that. That's kind of why I like him as England's keeper as well because he's putting everything out there on the field.
yeah. I don't mind the shithousery. It's the lambasting his defenders when he has to do his job every now and then. Like it's like you're gonna have to make some saves. Like, but to be fair, if you're goalkeeping behind a central defensive partnership of Michael Keane and James Tarkowski in 2026, like maybe they do need to be shouted at a few times because to get like considering those two played a large part of this season for Everton, to get 11 clean sheets is pretty good going from Pickford.
It's ridiculous because you just think how immobile both of them should be at this point. But I guess game awareness is helpful for them. Having two speed. Well, Jake O'Brien isn't really a speedy fullback either. It just doesn't make sense.
No,
I
I
think.
mean you could say that they need a whole new back line, like possibly, like, but you probably wouldn't change all four at once. But I think Everton are going to be in the market for changes in the defence, and that just speaks to how good Pickford has been this season.
I
But
mean, they'll have
moving
Buffalo
on,
coming back, won't they? So that's like a new signing for them.
yeah,
But yeah,
but
uh,
he's missed a lot of games over the last couple of years, hasn't as
yeah,
Brantthwaite. So don't think you should be banking on that. But
yeah.
move on to one of my other nominations. Same clean sheet record, joint third best, 11 clean sheets, and I think Jordi Petrovic from Bournemouth needs to be like given some praise because he came in to replace Kepa last summer, had a bit of a shaky start, and then by the end of the season was putting out loads of big saves, keeping Bournemouth in games that like help contribute their unbeaten run, like and finishing sixth. I think he really improved as the season went on, and yeah, again, joint third best clean sheet record with 11 this season. Is like I think he is definitely worth a nod in this conversation.
How many Bournemouth players are there going to be in this team this season that you're putting forward? I just want to gauge the idea of it now before we get too far into it.
I'm probably going to suggest between 4 and 6.
Fuck me, it's outrageous.
Do
Fuck me. But yeah, I mean,
you
yeah, he
not
did
think
make.
Petrovic like improved, like that he
He
should
definitely
at least
improved
be
because
given a nod in this conversation?
no, he definitely improved because I remember at the beginning of the season being like, he's not that
Have they
guy.
made a mistake?
Yeah, yeah, I just didn't think he'd be that good for him. And then I do feel like towards the end of the season, we were bringing his name up quite a bit of pulling out big saves, keeping them in it. I, I can't remember who it was again. Was it who was against where he makes massive saves right at the end? Was it
I think he made
Newcastle
a couple
again?
in that Arsenal game, right? There was
Yeah,
like
it's the Arsenal one. It was
big
the Arsenal
one.
one. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When he pulls massive saves out right at the end to keep it at what was it 2-2 from memory?
2-1. They won that
Two
game
one.
2-1, and it was so he was stopping the equaliser as they were pushing, and yeah, he made a couple of big saves in that. Made a couple of big saves against City. Like I'm not saying he is our like he should be in our team of the season, but I just think he's worth being in the conversation.
Yeah, 100%. Who do you have as your last pick then? Well,
So my last other mention is Kelleher at Brentford. Again, someone who came in, replaced. I mean, I kind of thought he was going to be an improvement on Mark Flecken when he signed. I know you were a big fan of Flecken because of how well he'd played against Palace in previous years, but I think they really they they found a gem with Kelleher. Like I think he was an improvement on Flecken. I think he helped them improve with like passing out from the back, and he got 10 clean sheets, which was the joint fifth best in the league, with someone that we'll come on to. And yeah, I think he was just like showed why for years everyone thought Kelleher was too good to be a number two, at Liverpool, and deserved his chance. And Brentford continue what they have been doing for years: smart recruitment, like buying a player still young and ascending with resale value if they need to like go that route at some point, but someone that has come in and improved the Brentford team at the back.
yeah, it's almost the opposite. Not opposite for the whole thing, but opposite that he had two really bad games against Palace this
Yeah.
year. So I was kind of there like, has he really been at it? But I feel like at the beginning of the season, he went off to a flyer to begin with, didn't he? Yeah,
Hmm.
okay. I didn't misremember that. And I remember bringing him up, and I was still calling him Gallagher at the beginning of the pod, beginning of the season. And I was like, you idiot. But yeah, he has done the business for Brentford, you feel, and they do feel quite solid there. And he's a keeper that they're going to have, well, could have for years, and there's resale value there for him as well. Do you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah, I think you're right. I'd include him, but I'd probably put him at the bottom of the keepers
Yeah.
that you brought up so far.
Yeah, he was the last sort of one that I had in my group of four, and then we can come on to the one that I know you want to give it to. So make
Yeah.
make your case.
Do I really need to make a case for Roofs at Sunderland?
No, I
Like,
don't think so.
it's just unreal save after unreal save throughout the whole season. Sunderland letting up a lot of chances, but defending for their lives throughout all of it. Maybe that's why it seemed like he's been more outstanding in it, but he's had so many shots go at him. He's saved him so many points. Like I said against about Pickford, he wins his team points. Like I reckon he's won Sunderland about 15 points this season for his saves, like at least. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, I mean, I mentioned it last week, their XG overperformance, and he's a large part of that. How XG would table would have had them down in 18th because of how many chances they conceded, and just how many like under expected like saves that he was pulling out. Like he was just like there were especially during that unbeaten at home run. It was like he was making real cat
Bones.
like clawing away, so like like chances that you think were destined to hit the back of the net, and he was just finding a way to get a glove on them, and big part of why Sunderland were so impressive and come out of nowhere as well. Like this time last year, only your football hipsters would have said they know of Robin Roofs and that like he's a very young goalkeeper. I mean, what a find from Sunderland.
You literally will find. I remember when they came to Selhurst early in the season and it was 0-0. And I was like, great, this keeper nobody's heard of has had the game of his life here, and I bet he goes and concedes like 10 goals every other game. But he just kept that form up pretty much the whole season, which was, yeah, pretty damn impressive. So I think he can be the only one that goes and goal for us. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to put Robin Roofs in goal for us.
nice. Okay, where do I want to move on to next? Left or right back?
Let's go right back first.
Okay, who do you have on your list then?
It's interesting you're sighing because I've got one that I put kind of I put one I've got one name that I literally put it was like one of the first names I put down when I started doing this exercise, and then I was like, right, let me have a look at some stats and see who else I would put in this category with them. I think the one name that would be at the top of my list is Michael Coyote at Brentford.
Okay, cool. That's me as well. It has to be, doesn't it? Because I was just there thinking, like, who else? I mean, I could be biased and give it to Munoz, who I think is a great right back, but I don't think he had the best season in the Premier League, if I'm being
Well,
honest.
I mean, funnily enough, he is one of the other two names that I've put on here. There is a Bournemouth player, but I won't name him due to some off-field things that definitely takes him out of my reckoning.
Yeah.
The other, so I've got Munoz, and then I've also got Nordi Mukiele for Sunderland. I think like when I was looking into the stats, these were the three: Coyote, Munoz, and Mukiele, who I would even put in consideration really.
Did Mickey only play right back the whole time? Did he not play at centre back at some
He
times in the
played
season?
some at centre back. I think when Dan Ballard went out injured for
Yeah,
a while, he sort of covered at centre back. So a little bit of a sort of half and half one there.
yeah. Because I had him down as maybe one of my centre backs as well.
Is this why you want to play three at the five at the
Yeah,
back?
man, it's hard. It was hard. Like, it really was. But yeah, Coyote, I mean, obviously made a lot of attention at the beginning of the season for long throws, but they worked for Brentford, didn't they? Like, you can't complain of that. He,
Yeah, I
po-
mean they were a weapon all season for them.
yeah, and they kind of set that trend that everyone else followed, because that was the trend of the season, wasn't it? It
Yeah,
was long
100%.
throws and was it long throws and corners by the end of it?
Yeah, I mean it was a set piece season, right? Like
Yeah,
we saw records broken for how many like for teams scoring from corners and stuff, and like everyone you had to have a long throw specialist by the end of the season, and the worst thing was West Ham had no one could do a long throw, and it felt like every single other team in the league had someone who was taking every throw in, and
yeah.
except for West Ham.
Even we were doing that, which is crazy. With
Yeah,
no shot. But yeah, well, I mean, Coda, I mean, more than just long throws as well. He looked dangerous going forward for Brentford quite a lot at the end of the season, I thought.
yeah,
And
real two-way player.
yeah, and defensively doing a job throughout it as well.
Yeah, I
Proper,
mean, defensively from a statistics point of view, 47 tackles won and 38 interceptions. Like the tackles won puts him fifth amongst all defenders in the league. interceptions. One puts him 11th among all defenders in the league. Like he,
For right
yeah,
back as well. That's crazy, ain't it? Like,
yeah, like he did a lot of defensive work, and there were so many multiple occasions where it was him stopping a counter attack as well with like a sort of Wan-Bissaka-esque like on the ground, getting his long leg, getting a toe on the ball and taking it away from the attacker, and his energy to get back as well. Like he was like sort of the making up so much ground, just sprinting back to make a last ditch tackle. Like it was so impressive. And I remember us talking about him towards the end of last season because he joined from in last January, and we were like, oh, maybe there's a player here, like interesting, like see how he looks for Brentford next season, and he's just gone on improved like week by week. It felt like.
yeah, he's a player I'd love to have. Almost like a younger Munoz. I'd say he's much better defensively than Munoz as well.
Yeah, but I mean, Coyote generally plays at a back four, whereas Munoz does play as a right wing back. Like the one point I would put in Munoz's favor is he scored 4 goals and got 3 assists. He improved. It felt like his attacking output this season for Palace.
Yeah, I mean, he was just given more of a license to go up there. I mean, there were times he was at the beginning of the season and through the middle where we had injuries, and he was actually playing on the wing, which was I don't think he
Mm.
scored in in that position at any point. But yeah, it is one of those weird things where you're like, why is our right back you're pressuring the goalkeeper from a goal kick? Like always thought that Munoz, but yeah, I do think he had a good season. I just don't think he had a good enough season to make it as our right back in this team.
No, no. I mean, as I say, like I had Coyote penciled him straight away, and then I looked up some other right backs, and I don't think there were too many with a particularly good shout, and that's how I ended up with looking at Munoz and looking at Mukiele as sort of options to bring to the table. But I think it's pretty clear cut that Coyote will be our right back.
Nice, let's rubber stamp that one in. Do you want to go to left back now because I only have one
Okay.
left back?
I've got two left backs and a couple of notable mentions.
Really? Okay, let's go do notable mentions.
Okay, my honourable mentions are Gabriel Goodmanson at Leeds.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
kind of played left wing back, so I'm kind of cheating here, but there were times where I was watching Leeds this season and Goodmanson was their best player. Like he was going back and forth, like putting in crunching tackles, setting up like crosses into the box. Like he did loads, and I think you could tell. I think there was a little bit of a drop off when Goodmanson was out injured at times in the season. I think he was excellent and one of those signings that took Leeds to where they ended up in the table and helped them to safety. I thought he was one of their best performers over the course of the season, so I think he's worth a mention in this shout. And then my other notable mention is just El Hadji Malik Diouf. Like he,
I wanted to include him because I was thinking he made it into the Premier League like voting for team of the season, which it's always odd when you see like a relegated team's player in.
hmm,
Did he do enough for you this year?
I mean, he's not. Like, this is why he's in my notes, like
Yeah.
honorable mentions rather than actually one of the two that I'm gonna put like go to bat for. Like he improved as the season went on. His defensive side of the game improved. He sort of came over to us as I'm firmly a left wing back. Like this is sort of I can't really do the defensive side of things at the
Basically,
Premier League level.
Patrick Van Arnold. That's how
Basically,
all of a
yeah,
sudden, like I'll go forward and I'll fly up and down, but don't expect me to be in position or if I
exactly.
stop it. That's the thing, but there's definitely a player there. Like,
Yeah, and I mean his crossing, like he does put in like 40 crosses a game, and some of them he absolutely balloons. But when he gets it right, it's as sweet as watching David Beckham cross. Like when Diouf gets it on point, the curve of the ball, like the arc of it, the way he bends like his body to send it in the box, and when it does land like in the right place, it's picture perfect. Like it's teaching tape. Like that is what you would show to young like wingers, young like fullbacks who are trying to like emulate sort of crossing. He's kind of got that kind of nailed down. He could definitely be more consistent with it, but the actual technique of it Like it's when it works, it's sublime to watch.
So what system was Nuno playing at the end though? Wasn't it four at the back, or did he still have
Four at the
wing?
back.
Yeah, that's where it gets. Do you think he did well in the four in the back when it came to it?
He improved for sure. Like he got better with it. Like at first, he was a bit of a liability at four at the back.
Yeah,
Like really struggled with like a lot of teams sort of targeted him. Like put their big man up on the right side. Like again, so in our left back spot to like challenge him, and then they would like pump a long ball up to him, and he would lose the aerial duel quite a lot. Like pace for pace, he'll match you, but he can be beaten for sure. But he absolutely improved from a defensive point of view. So like I just tip my cap to him for like first season in the Premier League with obviously a very struggling West Ham. He improved as the season went on, and attacking he was pretty decent at times. But then come to the two. So I'm interested. You've got one name for certain. I've got two names that I would have in the conversation.
I bet my name's not even in your two as well. I
I
bet
mean, I think he will.
you got Ty in there for
Yeah,
him.
Turing Mitchell.
Yeah, because I couldn't think of another
I
left
mean,
back.
there's one that I have above him.
Okay, but I'll go into bad for a Ty. Like I can't think
Sure.
of a. You even said it last week. There's not a defensively better left back, I think, in the league.
Hmm.
Like, and he's getting better at going forward. I think he ended the season with 4 assists or something, maybe even more than that. And yeah, there's no left back putting in a solid 7, 8, 9 out of 10 every single week. Like, and he comes up against the best wingers and makes them look. Well, he never looks in trouble. I think the only person I've ever seen him be put in trouble against was Traore the first time he came up against him, and he just bullied him. I think it was Wolves, one of his first games when he was under Roy. And then this season, just strength to strength, he played almost every single game for us in the league and the Conference League and the Cups because Borna Sosa was dreadful as a backup. And yeah, I can't rate him enough. He also scored a Zidane-like goal against you lot at the London
Yeah, I was
Stadium.
waiting for that point.
Yeah, but no, I think for such a young, still a young player as well, I cannot sing him more praises. And even though everyone at Palace, I think this season everyone stood up at Palace and realised, oh wait, we don't need both our wing backs to be like Munoz running up the pitch and like
Mm.
getting lost up there. We actually need this balance that Ty's slowly getting, and it's probably safer having the balance that Ty has rather than the gun wholeness that Munoz has. And I just think I could see him in a top six team. I don't really understand why top six teams aren't sniffing around him. Is it because he's not going forward? They don't think he's going forward enough. I don't understand how he hasn't made the England squad because, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. When England come up against a France or a Spain and they need a strong left back to go up against an Elise or Yamal or any other wingers they have, you got to think, oh, he's proved he can do it against Elise. He's trained against him for years. He's proved he can do it against Mo Salah in the league time and time again. Yeah, it blows my mind really with it. So that's
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of stats for him. He 101 tackles, which was seventh among all Premier League players last season. He won possession 187 times, which was also most among all players. And I think both of those stats really speak to Tyrick Mitchell's style of football, where he watches the ball like when the winger's facing him up, he's watching the ball. He's got his body sort of open, ready to sort of, and then he nicks the ball. He doesn't like necessarily commit. He doesn't commit himself too much. Like he's always seems to be on his feet and like nicking the ball and then playing it off sort of thing. It's never just clear it, just get it out to touch or like or go down to make a slide tackle sort of thing. It is sort of a hallmark of a really really smart footballer. Like, and I like as I said last week, I think I agree with you. I don't think there is a better defensive left back in the Premier League, and even though he plays left wing back, like you're right, the balance I think with Munoz on the other side works so well because you never really find yourself open to a counter attack when you've got because you still even though you're playing a back like you've got three at the back Mitchell gets back so quick and so well that it ends up being a four at the back sort of thing and having so you're never really feel that overload of players that you can sometimes get if you have a back three and you've got really forward thinking wing backs. So, I mean, yeah, I think Mitchell's got better every season. You're right. He's putting in some like attacking contributions now in his career that he wasn't earlier in his career. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes sniffing. The only reason, I mean, I could make a loose link to like he does feel a little bit Wan-Bissaka like how good Wan-Bissaka was at Palace, and then
Yeah.
almost like the top six teams are afraid of like because they feel like Wan-Bissaka didn't work, so maybe they're scared to touch Mitchell. But I mean,
I'll,
that's great for Palace.
yeah, I'll happily take that all day as well. He's also one of the hardest geezers in our team as well, I think, which is crazy to think.
He doesn't look like it at
He
all. He
doesn't
looks like
look
a
like
schoolboy.
he doesn't at all, but it was an interview ages ago. He's like, his dad went to prison, and he's like, "Oh, like, do you care much about your dad?" It's like, "Nah, dead to me." It's just that, like, fucking that's some dark shit from a guy who just seems like a nice, jolly little left back. And I'm like, I'm sure he is hard as nails inside. But yeah, who do you have as your number one then, and we can battle it out.
Adrien Truffert from Bournemouth,
Fuck, no,
like
but I
you
knew.
should have know. You should have
I should have
guessed.
known. I don't know why. Do you know what? We finished the podcast last week, and I was like, "Yeah, Trofea's going to be in." I think I even was like, "It might be in my team this season." But then, yeah, I went out my memory this week with everything.
You got red and blue tinted glasses this
Yeah, I
week, and you're
do.
just thinking about Tyrek all this time. But I mean, Adrien Truffert needs to be in the conversation at least. Like 1 goal, 5 assists. Again for Bournemouth, I think he was maybe a little quiet when he first got in like when he first signed to replace Kirkes last season. Like didn't sort of just come in and like impress wildly straight away, but improved steadily as the season got on. And by the end of the season, I think like
It was flying.
more like yeah, he was absolutely on fire. Like just made like get like the amount of ground he covered on that left side, like as a fullback, like playing in a back four, he was like from touchline to touchline, like just everywhere and contribute like just contributing all over the pitch and honestly improving on what Kirkes did last season at Bournemouth, in my opinion. Like I think by the end of the season, Truffert had slightly edged him on that, like on performance.
Do you think that might be a bit harsh? Because I feel like we were waxing lyrical about him, and then what a bad time he's had at Liverpool has maybe made it
Maybe
seem.
it's clouding my judgment, but I
Because
do think like Truffert, like Kirkes, the reason you buy Kirkes is he's got like 3 more years on Truffert. Like he's a younger player, so like he has a higher ceiling potentially, whereas Truffert kind of come in and like is a perfect age. I think he's 24, 25 sort of thing. So like perfect age for Bournemouth, like to come in and actually, as I'm saying, like slightly improve on the play like within the first season sort of thing. Whereas Kirk has had a couple of seasons to like slowly get better sort of thing, and then had a really good season last year. But I just think by the end of the season, Truffert was so vital to Bournemouth. And again, it's just worth saying like Bournemouth lost what 3 of their back 5 like last in the summer last year, and everyone was thinking regression candidates. How do you replace so many key defenders?
a
We're
goalkeeper.
gonna we're gonna come on to another player for Bournemouth in our next group, but like yeah, I just think Truffert deserves to be like it's between these two. I'm fairly like as I say, these were my top two picks for this. The other two were notable mentions, so for me, it's kind of a coin toss, really.
I want to go for Ty just because I don't think the Palace player's getting anywhere close to anywhere else, if I'm being honest.
Well, I don't think any West Ham players are getting in this team, so
Hey, wait, wait.
I'll be mentioning a couple of them at least. Now let's go for Turek.
Nice.
Like he, I love watching him as much as I hate playing like when West Ham play against him.
Nice. Okay, so Roofs, Coyote, and Ty. Okay, let's get to the central defenders. I'm going to throw a curveball out there just because you're saying didn't think any West Ham players would get in. I'll put Big Mav up there for us. What about
He's in my notable
that? No,
mentions. Big Mav, like Dinos. I have to put him as a notable mention. I couldn't quite put him. So I've got kind of like four like nominations and then two notable mentions,
but
and Konstantinos Mavropanos is one of my notable mentions, not in my four.
my one thing though is more of a 14 player this whole season. Someone that I was slating throughout the beginning of the season to then go full circle and get me like, yeah, this guy's the man. Cold
Oh,
hero, Silva.
redemption story is glorious for Mavropanos. Like there's I can't remember another West Ham player in recent years who has turned around fan opinion of himself so
That
much with
quickly.
in one season.
I don't think I can't think of any player that's done that. Like Mateta did it over two,
Mm.
3 years. Not like what was it from Christmas to February, pretty much 1 month in a
Well,
turnaround.
that's why I've kind of got him in a notable mention because he was still like a like it was kind of from January onwards that like Mavropanos excelled, and that was also when Dazassi came in the team, and Nuno sort of got a tune out of them, and like we've seen what Nuno can do with central defenders like with Murillo and Milenkovic at Forest sort of thing. And so I was like, right, has Mavropanos really been that good over the season, or was the change actually just so incredible because it happened throughout the season? Like, yeah, I don't know. I I love him. I really, really hope he stays because if he does, he'll absolutely boss the championship. But I
Yeah, I
don't
forgot
know.
you
I've
mentioned.
got four players that I would probably suggest over him.
Go on then. Let's bring it.
Well, my other notable mention is Omar Alderete at Sunderland. Like, I just think I've got another Sunderland player in my four,
Yeah,
but I think Alderete just sort of like did a lot of really good stuff as well for Sunderland.
yeah. I mean, I had two or three, and yeah, I've that other Sunderland player in mind, so we might as well talk about him because I feel like if we both put him up for mention, then he's probably getting the team, isn't he?
Probably, right? Like Dan
Yeah.
Ballard came
Um,
in and like he, I love to see this as like a player who like how many changes Sunderland went through last summer, and they still like kept like they were like Dan Ballard can make that step up. He wasn't one that they were like, right, we need to replace you, given how many players they did replace last summer. And Dan Ballard, like as someone who has semi followed his career, like he was a youngster at Arsenal, like really, really highly rated, and then just never kind of made the breakthrough. Felt like he needed to go out into the championship, sort of go to like find his way at Sunderland, make a name for himself. Someone who is built for the championship, like just like would eat a like he strikes you as such a championship player. Obviously, he had that insane header in the semi-final of the playoffs last year for Sunderland, but then who improved his game in the Premier League, really took to it like a duck to water, brought that championship energy to Premier League games at times. Like, I mean, we saw it in the first game of the season, the way he bullied West Ham strikers, like in that first game, and it was like, right, this lad he can do it at this level. Like,
that
I'd seen enough.
that's bang on exactly how I feel about it as well. You mentioned it. I remember watching that playoff semi final and him scoring a goal and everything he'd done with like the celebrations and everything. I remember just being like in my head if they get through, like you hope Sunderland think to keep players like that and keep the spine of their team. So even with a lot of players coming in, they don't lose what they had there. And I think that's one of the major things that helped them through the season so massively is having people there that know the fans and have had amazing moments with the fans and people are willing to do all the dirty work. Like he did a lot of dirty work throughout the season, big crunching tackles throughout, big blocks throughout, putting his head in places. Like it's that, isn't it? And he did it pop up with some goals as well. I feel like he did.
Yeah, I think he got a couple for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't argue with Dan Ballard at all because yeah, he's been absolute stalwart in that team for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was just we've talked about Sunderland's defensive like ability, and Dan Ballard was just it always he was getting his head on everything. Like he made the second, so he made 185 clearances, which at a rate of 7.8 per 90, which was the second most in the Premier League. It was just always if it's coming in the box, I backed Dan Ballard to find a way to get it away. Like, it just felt like that was so consistently part of their game, and like we've mentioned Sunderland's how good they were defensively. Like Roefs making saves when he needs to, but Ballard and Adel, to be fair to them, were clearing things coming their way, and yeah, I think Ballard was a standout for them.
He played 29 games throughout the season as well. For him, you gotta feel like if he's not there, having over 100 games for the club and everything, like you're worried, aren't you? Could they have held out in games as much as they did? Would they have had like a leader like that in defence to be able to take them forward? Because Sunderland, yeah, we've talked about it enough, but they had such a strong spine in their team to
Well,
really.
I wanna say, and I might be talking complete rubbish here, but I wanna say that the few games he was out with an injury was around the time that Sunderland had that dip in form, around the time that the home form ended, and they like sort of took their right, like we were sort of saying, are Sunderland just kind of sleepwalking the season now that they got to 40 points sort of thing. Might be talking complete rubbish there, but I want to say I remember that being a time where Dan Ballard missed a few games, so.
Nah, you're talking
Talking
shit, mate.
absolute rubbish.
I know. Oh well, no, maybe. Well, I was gonna say I
I
thought it
know
was
it was towards like the end of the season,
yeah.
like in the
I
last couple of months, that he missed a couple of games. But
I thought it was Shaka that was missing as well. But then I looked at that 5-0 against Forest, and they both started that game.
wow,
So yeah,
wow,
that's
maybe talking complete rubbish there.
but it felt like it. There was definitely that period.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, fair. Okay, Dan Ballard's in. So you got one more space. So do you have any? You don't have any more honorable mentions, do you?
Well, I don't have any more honourable mentions, but I've got one that I definitely don't think you would have, and then I've got two that I think would be more suited to this. So I guess he is another honourable mention, but Jakob Biel at Leeds, I think, had a really, really good season. And like I kind of looked at all of like Leeds centre backs and was like, they all played their part. Like Joe Rodon, Pascal Struijk, like they all like Jakob Biel, they all played really well at times, and I did feel like they deserved a nod. So probably more of a notable mention, but Biel at Leeds.
Yeah, I feel like if you're saying that though, you gotta bring Big Mav in because Leeds started off at well just before Christmas going on an absolute tear.
Yeah, yeah, no, fair. That's why he's probably more of a notable mention. But
Yeah,
then there's two others who I'm curious if how many do you have now? Like,
I've
have you
got
just got one straight up,
I got
or
one left. Yeah, because I had Michele as a centre back as well, but we probably can't
okay?
put the whole of Sunderland's defence in.
No, if I can't have all of Bournemouth players, you can't have all of Sunderland players. Like,
Uh,
okay, well then I'll mention the one that I don't think you're gonna mention, but Maxence Lacroix.
I mean, if you're thinking
I'm
that,
surprised that you're not that you haven't brought him to the table, given your Palace bias.
I would have put. I don't
Lacroix,
know.
I thought was excellent this season.
No, I think all three, Lacroix, JD, and Chris
Okay, well, we're not
Richards.
putting JD Cambo in the team because he
Oh,
had a good last 2 months of the season. Like,
I,
calm down there.
but
Richards had times, but I wouldn't like. I think the leader of those, like, of that defense was Lacroix, especially stepping up after Gahey was sold. Like, that really could have been a leadership vacuum of that defense, but Lacroix stepped up.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. But it's hard to bring it in where towards the end of the season we're getting battered 3-0 or we're
True.
conceding a lot of goals. I put Ty in there because don't think that's mainly his fault there, and he's
No.
still like putting shifts in. Whereas the centre backs, that felt too biased almost for me to be like, oh yeah, a Palace centre back needs to go in our team of the season, even though we finished what 15th, and we're just
Yeah.
pumping goals. Like if you take the whole season and we put the Conference League in there, then yeah, 100% I'd have Lacroix, and I do think he's an outstanding player, and he's going to get better and better. I don't think he'll be with us much longer. I think if I was Didier Deschamps, I'd be playing him in the centre backs for France. If would you not?
I don't know, they got some pretty amazing options there. Like Upamecano and Saliba are pretty damn good.
I don't trust Uber Meccano, if I'm being honest.
I mean, he had a good game against Senegal, but there is a mistake in him. I've watched enough of Bayern over the years and Leipzig to know that. But Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think like there is one name that we haven't mentioned so far who was actually the first name on when I put down when we were talking about centre backs. So
Mm.
like I think Lacroix's close, but I wouldn't bat for him to be in there.
Okay, who do you have? I'm sure we've probably got the same as well.
We've got the same as this Bournemouth's Marcos Senesi.
No, I've got a different one.
What? You
I didn't
don't
man.
have Marcos Senesi in there?
No, why would I put that diving prick in?
Because like he was
No,
clearly like one of the best centre backs in the league this season.
no, I had Malik
Who
Chow.
have you got?
I had Malik Chow because I thought he had a good season.
Malik Chow? Nah, I can't back that.
I put him above Senesi because
Wow.
that
I'm
that
actually shocked.
yeah, I'm not putting Senesi in because of that dive. And I looked at it, and I looked at the stats, and I looked at
Oh,
everything.
we take the Palace glasses off for a second. We're talking about 38 games, not one thing that happened when Palace had already given up on the Premier League.
Also, he's not even fucking there anymore. He's at
Yes, but
Spurs,
he
ain't
was there at the end of the season when the
he? No,
full time whistle happened at the end of May. He was playing in a Bournemouth shirt. I
you,
don't understand why this rule you don't understand this rule.
you're picking a snaky diving
I mean, do you
top
think I
six.
want to pick a Tottenham player? God no, I feel disgusting. But I think we both last season and at the start of the season were like, Senesi feels like a mistake waiting to happen, and then he was excellent all season for Bournemouth.
I don't want to talk about him. I'm going to be real grown up about this and let you have Big Mav in there instead, and we'll move on.
Do I want to go for Senesi when I can have Big Mav?
I weigh it up, mate. Weigh it up. Like, what do you want? A Tottenham player or
Hmm.
an actual other 14 player who's technically in the
I'm not even
championship now?
yeah, I'm not, not even another 14 player anymore. Uh, uh, let's put Big Mav in.
Yes, there we go. I knew again.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
Do you want?
What does it matter?
What was it? Yeah, do you want to touch more on Sonetti at all?
I mean, the stats speak for themselves. 254 clearances, which was second amongst all Premier League players last year. 50 interceptions, which was the most among Premier League defenders. The like so many of like line breaking passes as well. Like there were so many times where he was playing a pass that threaded through both midfields into the Bournemouth attack. He was a real proponent of Iraola's get the ball forward as soon as you can mentality, and like as soon as he picked up the ball, he was forward thinking, trying to get the ball to one of those speedy attackers. Like, yeah, I mean, I think Senesi was excellent this season, but Big Mav's in there.
Nice. That's just going to flop at Spurs.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they're gonna go back to and Postecoglou playing on the halfway line, and someone who I was actually going to bring up was Jan-Paul van Hecke, but he made way too many mistakes at the end of the season for me to even like have him in the conversation.
how have they got all that money for him? How? 52 million for a mistake that can't play out from the back. It's
It feels like teams should stop buying Brighton players until like they start to do like actually well.
if they'd held on to James Milner, I'm convinced they would have got 80 mil off him from someone. Leanne decided to retire.
Can I sell you this shiny new 40-year-old James Milner?
It's absolutely insane. What did I get? 52 million for him. It's it's insane.
That
Like,
is crazy.
how can Spurs even afford that without any European football or anything like that as well? Like,
I don't know. Probably got more Beyonce concerts on the way.
oh, I love it.
How do we raise funds? Get gorillas out. They'll play the stadium.
Oh, god damn it. No comment from me because I've worked on that. Oh, cool. All right, then. That does it for part one then of our team of the season. So I guess the boring side of it, if you don't like defending. So next week we'll be back with our midfield and attack. And we've done manager of the season, haven't we? So yeah, we know how that goes. Cool. Yeah. Otherwise, feel free to. Oh, no, I don't have it. The notes in front of me again.
Rate and review the podcast.
There
Tell
we
your
go.
friends, and have your say. Send us in any voice notes or comments. Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, or email in at Other14FCPodcast@gmail.com.
See, it's hard, that ain't it?
No, just reading.
Yeah, I struggle with that. As
Yeah,
many
I
people.
know. I can tell.
I can't read emails. I don't know how I've got so far at work. Oh, cool. But anyway, I'll catch you next week, mate.